All right, everybody, it's Norman Woods, and let's talk about varial flips. This one should be a pretty quick video because this is a trick that in the beginning seems difficult, but it's actually fairly simple. Before I get into the trick, let's talk about Collage Skateboards, my brand. Got a few of these Lovers graphic decks left. We're trying to sell through them because we have a couple more graphics that are slated to be released. And, we want to sell through these before we get them. So go to www.collagesskateboards.com. And yeah, help us out by getting one of the last few. We've got 8.25 and 8.5 left. So if you skate those sizes or want to buy a gift for someone who does, cop one. So varial flips. First off, you should be able to pop shove it. You should be able to kick flip. If you can't do those tricks, I got tutorials on both of them. I'll link them below in the description. So once you got your pop shove it down and you got your kick flip down, you get to varial flips. A sneaky little trick. It helps if you pop using your nose as the tail. I don't know why, it just works out. It also works out that if you're starting a line off with a varial flip, you use the nose as the tail for it, you end up having your board the right way if you're going for a ledge trick, a rail trick, or most other tricks. So yeah, that's a pro tip. Use the nose as the tail for varial flips. So you'll know if you can do varial flips that your back foot's kind of in the ollie position and you're kind of pulling the board back behind you when you pop. So you're going to do the same thing with your back foot that you do for a pop shove it. You have your back foot in that little ollie box. I've talked about it in my videos on ollies, my videos on pop shove it's, my videos on front shove it's. And your front foot is going to be in a modified kickflip position. So you're going to have your front foot slightly angled, meaning your toes are pointing towards the nose of the board at let's say like a 60-degree angle, but you're going to test this for yourself and see what works the best because everybody's different. And then you're going to have your front foot also in about the center of the board. Now, when we pop, what we're going to do is we're going to crouch just like every other trick. You knew that was coming. I say that with every trick. So you're going to crouch as low as you can. You're going to pop while you're on the way up. And once you get your tail to the ground, that's when you're going to use your back foot to create that pulling motion that you use for a pop shove it. So you're going to pull the board behind you, which creates the backside pop shove it rotation. And as you're doing this, your front foot's sliding forward and you're going to kind of give it like the question mark motion. We talked about this with the varial heel flip, right? Like you use your front foot to guide the board in the direction that it's going when you're flipping the board. You're going to do the same thing with a varial flip, only in the opposite direction. And you want the board to catch your toes because your toes are what guides the board to flip. Now, the thing that's going to help you get better at varial flips and land them fast is you got to lift your knees up as you're popping and pull them towards your chest, just like you do when you're trying to do a good ollie. So crouch, create the pulling motion with your back foot as you're popping. Use your front foot to kind of guide the board in the direction that it's going while also flicking a kickflip. And you're going to wait and watch the board flip. And you're going to stick that front foot out and catch the board, right? So you're catching this one with your front foot. That's the goal. It's going to take you a while to get the full rotation, right? One thing that'll help you out in the beginning is if you put your front foot a little closer to the back foot, that makes it easier to flip the board, but you're not going to get very high doing that. So once you've landed the trick, then you want to get your front foot back to the middle of the board like I mentioned. And when I do these downstairs, I have my foot closer to the bolts nearest to the nose of the board because I'm trying to get it to flip slower so that I can see when to catch my board, stay crouched, and land. Now, landing this trick is the same as everything else. Once the board's rotated, you've stuck your front foot out and caught the board. You got your back foot on the board now. Keep your legs crouched. Don't push your legs to the ground. Let gravity push you to the ground. You're going to stay crouched. Absorb the impact, so if you have to bend down a little bit lower, do that, and then roll away. And this is a great trick to do downstairs once you get it because it tends to flip pretty slowly. And so it gives you, it flips slower than kick flips, right? So you can actually look at the board flipping and catch it and get used to doing that. Another pro for doing this downstairs is that it's flipping in front of you, right? So like, your kick flip is flipping under you. Your heel flip is flipping under you. So you've really got to look down under your feet while it's flipping to watch it. But the varial flip is actually going in front of you. In the beginning, you're even going to have to kind of jump 6 inches, 12 inches in front of where you are, meaning towards your back, towards your front side, so that you can catch up with the board. And that's a positive because we want to get used to making our board rotate, watching it, and then catching it, right? Like the more we see that and do that, the more our brain gets used to skateboarding tricks. So varial flip's a good one for that. Start with like a 3-stair and then work your way up. And when you're doing this one downstairs, you're not usually gonna clip with a varial flip because it flips so slowly, and you're the way that you're flicking your front foot out is just unique. So I've never clipped when doing this trick downstairs. It is a trick that you will break boards on because in the beginning, just the nature of the way it flips is kind of crazy. But this is a relatively easy trick to learn. I just actually taught someone how to do it in one of my skate lessons. So you guys should all be able to learn this. Just to go over it again, you're going to have your back foot in the ollie box, front foot in a modified kickflip stance, kind of at an angle towards the nose of the board. You're going to roll at a decent speed. You're going to crouch as low as you can. So squat down there. You're going to come up pretty quickly. As you pop the tail, you're going to pull the tail towards your backside, creating that pop shove it motion. Then you're going to flick your front foot the way you would for a kickflip, but you're also going to guide it. So you're going to make your front foot go through the same rotation that the board is, the 180 spin. You're going to wait for the board to rotate fully. When you see the grip tape, stick your front foot out and catch it. Keep your knees bent as you catch the board. Let gravity push you to the ground, and then roll away. That is about it for varial flips. Yeah, really fun trick, really simple trick. It helped me learn backside flips, I believe. It was one way or the other way. It's been so long. It's been like 22 years since I learned both of these tricks, but I know one of these led to me learning the other, and it had something to do with a Josh Kalis sequence in Transworld for a DC ad. Like and subscribe. Let me know in the comments if this helped. Also, let me know what you'd like to see next. And yeah, enjoy skateboarding.